Hi, my name is Thompson, I'm Quad Reviews, and in this video we'll be unboxing the LG G3, which just arrived in my inbox, and here it is. In a nice kind of golden bronze kind of box here. And on the back we of course have the LG G3, and on the knock code feature that is new. That means that you can unlock it directly by just knocking instead of just waking it. It has a 5.5 inch, maybe I should see if I could get this up here. Yeah, it got a 5.5 inch display with Quad HD, which means that this is 2560 by 1440 resolution. It's very big and makes it just about north of 535-38 pixels per inch, which is an insane amount of pixels per inch. And also we have the Snapdragon 801 on here, which I believe runs 2.5 gigahertz on the 4 cores. And you have the new speaker, which is 1 watt speaker, but disappointingly it is still backfiring, which is a shame. We got the same 13 megapixel as last time, but this time it's been improved with the OIS has a little plus, which means something. And also it has a dual flash, which actually is a dual tone flash. We also got some laser autofocus for fast autofocusing and a big battery of 3000 milliamp hours, which is also just an insane amount of battery, but should then last you through the day, which is always a nice thing. And here we have the device, and it is big. It is a big device, but I'm a bit relieved because it's not as big as the G Flex, which I used before, or I am using now, but I will be using this for a while. We just have the same features here written on the screen, but let's take it out and take a quick look at it. Put the box a bit of aside. It's very light, but I think the battery still needs to go in because this has a removable battery, which is very nice, and one thing that people have been asking for and that they didn't put in on the G2, but now I put in on the G3. As you can see down here, the LG logo kind of has this metallic effect on the material it's printed on, which gives it an actually quite nice look to it, especially with lighting, and you get that effect that you see right there, which is very nice, in my opinion at least. It's still plastic. Still is plastic, and I'm gonna wait on how it feels until I get the battery in, because now it's very light and it feels like a dummy device, which of course in some way it is right now. Until the battery's in, it can't do very much. On the back we have the plastic, but it has this metallic look to it, and as you can see, it actually looks quite good. It kind of looks like metal, it really does. You could surely mistake this for being metal, not when you touch it though. It doesn't feel like metal, it does feel like plastic. And down here we have that 1 watt speaker, and up here we of course have the back mounted keys, control keys. You got the volume up and down here, and you got the power button right there in the middle. These have been revamped, apparently redesigned for better navigation, and they do have a bit more feel to them, it seems. But right now there's plastic above them, so I can't really feel. But they seem to have a better dimple. Let's just, oh yeah, they do, and you got a better feel of the power button. But sadly, this redesign of it also means that there is no longer an LED light here on the back as you had before, which is a shame because just sometimes leaves your phone lying with the back upwards. So that's a shame. And here we have the two-tone flash, the 13 megapixel camera, and the laser autofocus helper right there. Now let's move around down south here. We have a jack output and input. We got the microphone right there, and we got the USB input on the sides. Seems we have nothing, and on the other side also nothing, because the keys are of course back here. In the top we have nearly nothing. We have an IR blaster, it seems it's up here, and we got the noise cancellation microphone. On this side of the screen, on the front of course, we have the massive screen, the 5.5 Quad HD screen, which I'm very much looking forward to trying out to see what it is and what it can do. And up here we have the front facing camera and some sensors, and you got your speaker grill right there. And that is basically what is on the phone. Let's take a look at what else we get in the box. Because if we open here, we are greeted with a bit of reading material. A quick start guide, which we'll maybe read later. And inside it we have a box of goodies. We got the Quad B2 headphones, which was the same headphones that came with the G2 and the G Flex. So I got a couple of these now, and I really like them. I use these every day pretty much, or at least when I hear something on my phone, it is through these ones. So that's an endorsement. These are very good in my opinion, at least for a pair of in-ears you get with the phone. And also we got the USB cable and a wall adapter. Right there, nothing fancy about that. And here we have a battery, the removable battery that we have to put in, which counts for some of the weight of the phone. And as you can see right there, nothing really special about that either. And that seems to be it. And there's no longer this little G key that we got with the G Flex and the G2, because it's no longer needed in order to put in the SIM card, since it has a removable battery. Because of that, it also has a removable back, and it's in the back that you remove and where you find a place to put in your SIM card. Now let's just open this guy up. Let's see what it is. There's this little handle down here. You might be able to see if I just do it right. Got this little notch right here that you could just put your fingers into and kind of get it wedged open. There we go. And then we have the inside of the phone right here, the flash, the camera and all. And right here we have the micro SIM card. Goes in right there. And let's see if we can find it. It should also have an expandable storage unit somewhere, but I can't seem to find it right now. Well, I'll be looking into where that sucker is. Yeah. Let's just put the battery in it. Just put the battery out, and you make sure that these connectors match these connectors here. And also one side of the battery has a, do it like that, has little indent, and the other one has a kind of carved into it. If you can see that, that's carved in, and this is a point, which also correlates within the phone here to some points. So it's pretty hard to do wrong. Right now, just put the battery in. I'll put the micro SIM card in. Oh no, that's a micro SD card. Also comes in here. It's a dual holder actually. Micro SIM in under the battery, and the micro SD card is right here on top. To put it on, you just lay it on top, and then you just press it in all the way around. And there you have it. Let's try to turn this guy on. See if there's any juice in the battery. There we got it. LG, life's good. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. And of course this phone is running Android, and it's running the almost latest 4.4.2 KitKat. And a bit of tone there from LG. It helped a lot for the device to actually get the battery in. Now it got a bit more heft to it, and it feels just about right. This is just about the right kind of weight for a device, and it's actually quite good. I like it, and it feels good. The floating arch design that this phone sports, the fact that it have a curve to it, really makes it feel good in the hand. But I'm gonna give it some more test, of course, before my final conclusion on how this phone feels and how it is to use. I've just played around with the phone a bit, just a couple of minutes, not much in general, just to kind of get a feel of the phone, and it is very fast. Let me tell you that it is really fast, and in general the software looks much better than what we're used to getting from LG, as they try to convince us also at the announcement of this, is that it is a more mature operating system. They've chosen some more mature colors. It wasn't just the base colors and all that kind of jazz. And I must admit I was a bit worried about the colors, because it's hard to deviate from that and do it well, and there are certain things, but in general it's actually pretty okay. It is some toned down colors, and the operating and the UI is in general more flat, of course, as it has waved away from a more realism in the UI. As it is all the trend now, flatten your icons and also make them into circles, a lot of them, as is also evident in their notification screen, where it's all circles, circles, and if you go into the settings, it's also a lot of circles, but it's not quite it's not follow through. It's not the whole thing. For example, we have the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, but then we have the call, which is the square, and that's a bit weird, because it's just not uniform in the way that it chooses to do things. It seems in this they are all square, and here it's kind of mash up again, and you might have thought they will, okay, if we want to make it more round, then we would make all of them circles, but they're not, and I'm not certain why. Some things make sense that they're not circles, but it's just a thing that I noticed. It's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to that, but it is certainly without a doubt a much better option than it was before. Well, a much better look than it was before. It seems that you still have a lot of customizations. Options, you have your home button combination that you can change, and you can put some in. And actually this time they have a dedicated button for the dual window, and you got the Q shot, you got the notification, and the quick memo. So you got a few more things that you can choose from now, where you in the G2 and the G Flex could only choose if you want the notification bar also to be there, so you don't have to move all the way up on these big screens, because it is a big phone. And as you might have noticed, it's a big screen on a little phone, but it's still a big phone. The screen to body ratio is about the 76, I believe. 76% of what you see here is screen, and the rest is body. And it really does have minimal bezels here on the side, and also on the top and bottom. Actually, it's pretty well used, the space. It's well engineered, and you do get that feeling from it. And already now I can feel it's getting a bit hot. And there have been some complaints about that it is in general a phone that gets kind of hot to the touch. Not a burning sensation at all, but it is a little warm, and a little bit warmer than usual. And that might be because of the amount of pixels that it now has to light up. And also the amount of CPU and other computing processes that need to take place in order to display all these pixels and move them around. And speaking of the amount of pixels and the display, it is very gorgeous, this display. It is very sharp, and even though it loses some of its brightness, it seems that that it holds up pretty well when you view it at that angle. But it does take some punishment when you don't look at it straight on. Other than that, I don't know what to actually say about this device before I need to use it a bit more in order to have more things to say, take photos, and yeah, sure, why not. And the camera have changed. It's now just a tab. There's no dedicated button on the user interface. It's been cleaned up a whole deal, because in the old G2 and G Flex, the camera app in there was quite a mess. Actually, it was hard to see what was going on in a way, because it was just so cluttered all the time. And now we have a button here actually, so it's not only press and shoot. If you slide it out, just a lot of people have reported that it was just that, but if you slide out the configuration, you actually have a dedicated shutter button right there, and a dedicated video button, so you don't have to change the mode. You can just, when taking pictures, directly go into shooting a video mode. That's actually quite nice. I like that. That's a nice feature, because having to go into settings and say, oh no, now it's not supposed to be photo anymore, now I want it to be video, is quite a hassle to do, I think. So having it in this way, it's actually a pretty nice feature. I like that. I really do. But more on the device later. This was my unboxing and hands-on and kind of first impressions of the G2, of the G3, of course. And I will be posting more videos about this device in the future. I'll be looking into the performance and the battery here next time, and then I will move on to look at the camera, I will look at the screen, and I will look at some usabilities and the software features that you get with this, because as with many LG phones, they are notoriously for just putting a lot of features into the software, and they have done so. But let's see if they've changed the way they think about it, because certainly they have changed a lot of the UI to make it more clean, to make it less cluttered. What do we have here? Oh yeah, and I've put in a knock on code, which means that I have to knock a little sequence to actually get into it instead of just a slide or a touch. And the good thing about the knock-on code is that it actually works when the screen is off and just goes directly into the phone. Very nice, and seems to work. I mean, I haven't had any problems with it working, but I haven't used it for that while, but I will be reporting back on that. That's all from me now. Thanks for watching my video. I've been Thompson with Quad Reviews, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content, and also leave a comment if there's anything you would like to see about this phone. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day.